Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to share my new build in progress, which is the Tornado of Elemental Turbulence Inquisitor, aka TOET. Now before I dive into the idea for the build, I wanted to just briefly mention how fun and exciting the campaign is now with the new mercenaries introduced. Usually I would simply speed level with Hollow Palm, but since starting Hollow Palm as an Inquisitor is not ideal, I decided to let mercenaries carry me instead, and oh boy it did. I was focusing on mainly the ranged mercenaries, so those are the sniper that uses lightning shot and ice shot I believe, and I also geared them with some basic items, pretty much a decent bow and a quiver with flat damage. And it was just shredding through everything while I run through Act 1 to 3. Now, at the end of the day, I strongly believe it's about enjoying the game, and if you're bored of leveling with Hollow Palm over and over again, I would definitely recommend gearing your mercenaries instead and letting them carry you through the campaign. Now, anyway, back to the build. So, TOET was inspired by several ideas. One is I just wanted to play the skill because it looks cool. Matho made a build on an Elementalist a few leaks ago, or last leak I think, and the skill looks great. Also, I really wanted to use the Crest of Desire helm since it actually synergizes really well with this skill. Now, if you're wondering why, quality increases the movement speed of the Tornado up to 40% at 20 quality. A perfectly rolled crest at 50% quality will grant your tornadoes up to 100% movement speed, which is insane for clear speed. Without it, the skill feels pretty bad in my opinion, so that is very important. TOET also scales heavily with gem levels, so the plus 8 on crests and the double damage is on par with most 6 links. And the only way to beat it is perhaps with some corrupted plus levels chests, or with a plus 4 Archdemon Crown, which you also need perfectly rolled mods to beat it, so a crest is just much more accessible. I also really wanted to play on an Elementalist with the new Golem changers, but looking at the Golem buffs, this build really only benefits from the Flame Golem, which gives it damage and AoE, and the Stone Golem for defenses. You get really nice AoE with an Elementalist, but Inquisitor just comes with so much more better defenses. Also, TOET deals fire, cold, and lightning damage, so you'd need a way to address penetration as an Elementalist. Inquisitor just takes care of that with its Ascendancy, so that's a no-brainer. Finally, since we're going crit, it would make sense to go Calms and Wrath Pit to cap crit easily, and this should bring us comfortably over 10k health and about 4000 energy shield with Glorious Vanity, so we should be pretty tanky and have decent damage as well. A quick POB with moderate investment brings the build to around 20 million DPS, and there are many endgame upgrades down the line that should push this build even further, so I'm really excited to see where this journey takes me. Alright, so I'm going to go over my items and passive tree really quick here. Just so you know, the character is level 67, so I have not equipped the two main items in the clips that you've seen yet, so the power level is nowhere close to where it's going to be. But for leveling this character, we started with basic gear, gold rim, some Loctonial Caress, and 1000 ribbons. Finally, I just upgraded to a chest that I have in my stash, just for some life and resistances. And then early on, we were just using these +1 to fire spell skill gems with Rolling Magma, and that basically carried us all the way to level 32, where we can equip Tornado of Elemental Turbulence. But yeah, this is the skill, and it's in our Crest of Desire. I was able to snag a perfectly rolled one off trade for I think 5 divines, but this is basically our endgame helm right here. Items wise, the Dark Seer is also really good. I don't think I'm going to replace this for a very long time because the +2 is hard to beat. You also get very nice life and energy shield, which scales your Inquisitor really well. The rest are just leveling items that I haven't swapped out yet, so pretty basic. For your shield, you want +1 to any fire, cold, lightning, or even physical, because the gem comes with all the tags, so it's very easy to scale it. For passive tree, essentially we started off here to grab all these nodes right here, and then we move down to grab Divine Judgment, and then hits a 15% chance to treat elemental resistance as inverted. I'm going to remove this since we are now an Inquisitor. And then we started moving up here to grab some Aura Reservation, Life, some crit. And then I grabbed this Power Charge wheel here just because early on I wanted to get some crit and some damage here. It gives you some mana regen as well, which is quite nice. And then we started moving down towards this crit wheel, and then towards the AoE, and finally here. So pretty standard tree. Eventually we're going to move down here to grab some more life, and also Glorious Vanity will probably go in here. I'm going to attach a POB for the end game, but I don't have a leveling POB, but I'll make one as well. And the last thing I want to talk about is a Watcher's Eye, which is mainly we're only focusing on hatred that gives us crit. So this will help us cap our crit when we're running hatred. But yeah, that is the character so far. In fact, I will go ahead and showcase a map here really quick, just a tier 1. Let's see if we can do this. We definitely don't want to do any reflect or that. Alright. So I'm not capped on resistance, so I'll try to not die here, but just to show you what the build plays like, you basically cast a tornado. Let me turn the volume on here. Ooh. But yeah, as you can see, the damage is pretty nice. And again, you can always try out Tornado without the quality, and I personally notice the difference, and that's why I think it's hard to beat Crest. I definitely need to cap my resistances. And this current mercenary that I'm using is the Kineticist, which is using Kinetic Blast. I could definitely give it a better wand to deal a lot more damage, but I haven't got to that yet. Okay, so we have the boss right here, and that's it. Okay, so now we are level 60 and we're able to equip these two items, which should significantly boost our DPS and survivability. Alright, that's it for the video, guys. I will post an update in a few days on how this build goes, so stay tuned for that. Bye, guys.